What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Young Rebel Podcast. I am your host, Q, aka The Rebel. Today we got a couple things we're going to be talking. Actually, we got quite a few things we're going to be talking about. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about Stalkers. We're going to be talking about dating, and we're talking about Madden. But first, let's get a word from our sponsors, and we'll dive into today's episode. This episode was brought to you by Level Up Gaming Apparel. Get your Level Up Gaming Apparel from levelupgamingapparel.com. They got awesome shirts, hoodies, and hats. So make sure you go over there and use the discount code REBEL to save 10% on your purchase today. Again, that is levelupgaming.com, and the discount code is REBEL. REBEL. Grab something and make sure you're looking fly. Level Up Gaming, people. Level up. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. We've made it. We finally made it here to the weekend. Let's just dive right in. So first and foremost, a few of you know that I had a date last Wednesday. And you probably heard episode 1 where I said that I thought things went well, but then it turns out she doesn't know what she wants, and I'm just like, so why are you on Hinge? Like, why do people get on these dating sites if they don't even know what they want? Like, go try Facebook. You know the whole spiel, man. Go try Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace. Like, there's so many other places you can go, but why would you get on Hinge? I just don't get it. We got another case, and I'm going to enlighten you all. I'm going to enlighten you all real quick. Let's see. I'm on Hinge, as always, because Hinge is where supposedly you get some high-quality ladies. And, this was a doctor here, so I'm like, okay, cool. She quickly attempts to stuff me into the friend zone. And she's like, well, I hope your next lady treats you better. Well, woman, what about you? First and foremost, when I asked you, why are you on here, you told me because you were bored. People, are we allowing ourselves to get this bored to where we just get on a dating site and start talking to random people? That is sad. That is really and truly sad. Go read a book. Go work out. There's so many other things you can be doing besides wasting people's time on a dating site. Like, when I get on a dating site, I know in my mind, hey, this is what I'm here for. I'm looking for wife material. And I expect other people to be on there like, hey, let me go find something serious. Yet, I keep finding a lot of people on there talking about, I don't know what I'm here for. I got on here because I was bored. I got on here for friends. Well, my goodness. Why? Why are we this bored as a people to where we have to waste other people's time and ultimately waste people's energy? Well, I don't know about you guys, but it gets very, very, very exhausting trying to talk to somebody on these dating sites. Dating in general, online, offline, whatever, dating can be very exhausting. So just imagine getting on here where you think people are going to be serious and then they're not. Everyone's talking about, I don't know why I'm here. Like, wow. All right, let's go make a friend's whatever. A friend me. I guess we'll call it friend me, although I feel like there's already a friend me out there. We got to find something or I'm bored. Let's make an app called I'm Bored. So people who are bored can just go get on this app and they don't have to waste other people's time. They can just be on this app and they can swipe on each other and send messages because they're all bored together. While the serious people like myself can have places like Hinge, and we can have places like Bumble, and Tinder if you want to go Tinder route, but I feel like Tinder's just for a quick hookup. OkCupid. Those are the places that I think people who are actually looking for something should be, not people looking for friends. I just don't get. There's a in fact, this is wild here, guys. This is wild. So this girl I've known for a while now. Geez, I really hope she doesn't listen to this, but I saw her on OK Cupid about a month ago, and I was like, huh, I thought she was engaged. Maybe they finally broke up. That's how I thought about sending her a message, but then I was like, nah, forget it. I'm not going to do that. I got better things to do. Plus, I'm not speaking to her right now because she keep playing with me. So I go mind my own business. And then not too long after this, guys, I kid you not, I discover that she does get married. And I'm just like, why are you on a dating site? So I happened to go back and look at her profile, and it literally said I'm looking for friends. Why on earth are you on a website called OkCupid? And I mean, like, yo, there's pink and there's hearts and all this stuff all over this website. So why are we on here looking for friendship? I just don't understand it. I really don't. I really and truly don't get it, guys. I mean, it's sad, it's depressing, but you know, it is what it is. Really and truly, do I feel sorry for the guy? No, because I feel like he's a fuckstick too. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, clearly that's an individual that cannot be trusted. And I mean, it's dangerous out here. If you're trying to date, I mean, guard your heart, guys. Guard your heart. Don't get wrapped up into these women too quickly. If you see that they're out here just playing games on these websites, cut them off and go find somebody better. Because, I mean, there's got to be more than just you out there looking for something serious. There's got to be others who also want something serious. You are not alone. So yeah, I mean, overall, I believe my dating has calmed down since then. Nothing wild's going on. Just been gaming and everything. I played. Let me talk about this real quick too. I played Fall Guys last night for the first time, and man, oh man, I did not think I was gonna like it, but Boring Street was telling me about it last Friday, and I was like, okay, I might give it a look. And then that Monday morning, Kimba hit me with a message. I was like, bro, are we playing Call of Duty tonight? He's like, bro, have you downloaded Fall Guys? And I'm like, nah. Is that the game old boy was talking about? He was like, yeah, dude, it's super fun. Look it up. So I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, that actually looks legit. So I downloaded it. Well, I'm still sitting at work. I downloaded it from my phone and everything. And PlayStation took care of me. Love this thing. I could never do this with my Xbox. I don't know why. Man, I know someone's going to be like, oh, you could do the same thing with the Xbox. Shut up. PlayStation downloaded the bad boy for me. And when I got home, all I had to do was turn the thing on and hit play. It was a lot of fun. You get to run through these obstacle courses. You get to play team sports. And ultimately, you're trying to win. You're trying to be the last person who does not get knocked off the grid. So ultimately, it's kind of like, do you guys remember a show called Splash or Splash Out or something? It used to come on ABC, but they would jump around on the balls, the big bouncy balls. They would bounce on those. They would run through different obstacle courses and stuff. It reminded me a lot of that. And honestly, the game is a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I was contemplating, do I want to play again tonight, or do I want to actually record this episode? And of course, I was like, as much as I love the game, I need to record this episode because I know people are counting on this episode to be here Friday morning. So I've got a meeting when I get done recording this, so I probably won't get a whole lot of time to play if I do play at all tonight. Might get up and play a little bit before I go to work. Otherwise, we'll be live on Twitch tomorrow. Cause let me just be honest. This is Tuesday night. All my shows are pre-recorded, as I've said before. So This is Tuesday night, so I'll be playing on Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, per usual. So it's actually 7 o'clock right now. Look at that. 7:03 to be exact on Tuesday night. So yeah, it's a very fun game, and for it to actually be free, if you have PlayStation Plus. If you have PlayStation Plus, it's free. Otherwise, it's $20. And really and truly, I would pay the $20 for it. That's how much fun I had. I've not had so much fun playing a video game like that in who knows how long. Well, probably actually Saturday, because I really enjoyed playing the Avengers beta. I guess I can talk about the Avengers beta too. I don't think I've talked about that yet. The Avengers beta is really cool. It's nice and smooth. The only people I did not care for as far as using was the Incredible Hulk and Iron Man. They felt really clunky. The Hulk felt enormous and hard to move around with. I also found his fighting ability to be difficult, and it was probably user error. I know I did glitch a few times while using him, so there is that. But as far as using the Hulk, I feel as though his movement was too slow when it came to fighting. I felt like you were able to take more, or you were forced to take more damage because of his inability to move quickly and dodge things effectively. So, I mean, yeah, it follows the line of physics, but when has the Hulk ever followed the line of physics? So that's kind of my issue there. The Hulk has always defied physics, I should say. So I wouldn't necessarily care if playing with him in the game did not line up with the physics of life. And we all know I love physics. Actually, I hated taking physics back in high school. That was my least. Actually, no, I think chemistry was worse. Chemistry and physics were awful. Biology was cool. I loved biology. Biology and anatomy, oh my God, take me back. Mr. Sankey was the best science teacher I've had my entire life. Mr. Sankey deserves the biggest and fattest raise in all of Clayton High School. But moving right along, what I do have an issue with as far as physics go is Madden. Now, I didn't notice there was a issue with the physics of Madden until about Madden 2009, Madden 2010, something like that. I mean, you guys have seen it. I know you have because we've talked about it. Some people like to deny there being a physics issue, and I really don't understand how. Some people like to deny that that the game is extremely bad, and I really do not understand how they can say such a thing. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Bouncing off of the ground and still being able to make a tackle does not follow the line of real life physics. That does not follow the line of actual football. Toss plays having the absolute inability to work does not follow the line of legitimate football. Like, just tell me how, just because we're playing a video game, means that some plays do not and should not work. I just don't get it. The inability for defensive players to read and react. Anybody who's ever strapped on football pads, anyone who's watched football, and I know everybody who plays Madden claims to be the ultimate football fan. Well, let me tell you something. They clearly don't watch a lot of football. All they do is play Madden, and they figure out how to glitch the game because there is zero ability to read and react in the game of Madden. If you guess the play and it's a run, you guess it's a run, but it turns out to be a pass, none of your players are going to go back and defend the pass. None of them. It's like they're completely blind. It's like they're completely brainless. They do whatever you tell them to do from the jump, but there's no way that you can change it as soon as the ball is snapped. There's no way if their eyes work and then they say, "Hold up, we got a pass coming. Let me get back there and get after homeboy." They will leave people wide open. Tell me why this is acceptable, people. And then they say, "Oh, well, you just suck at the game." Do I suck at the game, or is the game just dumb? And I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. I've won over 50% of my games online, and I've played about 60 games. So clearly, I'm not terrible. I've won over 50%. I don't consider myself to be a competitive Madden player, nor do I want to be a competitive Madden player. And then we've got cats sitting up here, sitting in my Instagram DMs on the daily, telling me how bad I am at Madden, telling me why Madden is the best game on the market. Well, I mean, let's just, and I've constantly told these people, Madden 2005 was the best Madden ever created. It was the last best Madden to date. You could make an argument and say 2006 and 2007 were also good. They're pretty much carbon copies of Madden 2007. Now, I do have a copy of Madden 2005 right here with me. So we're just gonna read through the table of contents right now, because back in the day, back in 2004, these games had instruction manuals, which, I mean, you guys know, as much as I hate to read, it's probably because it's on the screen. But listen here closely. Back in 2004, Madden 2005 came out into the market. When you open this booklet, there's a table of contents. And I'll be posting a picture of this on my Instagram page. Now, let me get into Instagram real quick. In case you guys are not aware, if you are subscribers to my Twitch channel, you have access to a second Instagram page. It's called Young Rebel Subs. So make sure that you join that if you are a subscriber. And that's just at the 1-tier mark. The 2-tier mark gets the Instagram. They also get access to a bi-weekly video chat with me. It's going to be a group video chat. So all the tier 2 and above subscribers get to hang out with me and talk in a video chat for about an hour, 2 hours or so. Tier 3 gets tiers 1 and 2, and then the third tier gets you access to a Netflix party. This is where you will sit down with me over the internet. You need to have Google Chrome, and you need to have your own Netflix account, but we can watch Netflix together. We can talk in a chat room, and there's going to be a Discord page and all that to where we can talk verbally if we want to, and you guys can watch my reactions and all that. We can watch movies, TV shows. I really don't care. It's just a way to get more access to the people, you guys, because we all know that I love the Rebel community, and that's what you all are. Even if you don't watch me on Twitch, even if you don't watch my YouTube channels, you're listening to the podcast, and I love you all the same. So, let's see. So we're reading the table of contents, and it says, page 2, starting the game. Page 3, command reference. Page 4, complete controls. And we're going to go over the controls in just a minute, because, I mean, some of the stuff Madden 20 and 19 and 21 are doing is just completely asinine to me. So we're going to get into that. Setting up the game, play now, playing the game, game modes. Now, here are your game modes back in 2004, 2005, guys. You had play online. You had franchise. Do you hear me? Franchise. This is the deepest part we're going to get into. Tournament. There was an actual tournament that you could play in Madden. That's on page 19. We're going to dive in. Now, look. The biggest gap in this entire table of contents is franchise and tournament. Franchise starts on page 16 and it ends on page 19. So, just keep that in mind, guys. We're going to be diving deep into franchise. So anybody who tells you that franchise has always just been franchise or connected franchise, they're a complete moron, and you need to refer them to this episode because I'm about to school everybody. Mini games, practice, features are on page 20. My Madden, you had a stat book, you had coaching strategy, gameplay settings, system settings, save and loading, and then a limited 90-day warranty. Let's jump into these controls real quick, because I mean some of this stuff. Now, of course, you got your linebacker shift, your defensive line shift, but really and truly, you didn't have to fool around with a ton of that stuff because it was not necessary. There was none of this. Put all these different plays on the field. Like, you're literally shifting. You don't have to put all these different commands onto the field, and then they call these adjustments. I'm sorry, these are not adjustments, guys. Like, when you call a play, you actually call the play. Like, this is what I don't understand. In Madden 20, why do we have a defensive playbook if everybody's just running out there creating their own defensive play? Get rid of the defensive playbook. Get rid of the offensive playbook too, because all the offensive playbooks are booty. I want the ability to create my own plays, my own. Because back in the day, I don't remember if it was this Madden, but there was a Madden. I believe it might have been 2003. We'll go through it because this packet is thick, and I'm not going to take all day to read it, so don't worry. But this packet is thick. This might have had where you can create your own plays. You could create your own plays, and I was murdering folks. We used to go to each other's houses with memory cards, and that is how we would play. Because most of us didn't have this fast internet nowadays. I honestly believe the internet has ruined Madden, and I think it's a hot booty shame. Now, notice there's only one tackle button. I don't understand for the life of me why we need 2 tackle buttons in Madden. Just like I don't understand why we need 3 catch buttons in Madden. I don't get it, guys. I really don't get it. But here's the thing. They say that the square button, I believe this will be X for Xbox. I'm looking at a PlayStation 2 booklet. They say that square is dive. Everybody knows good and well square has and always has been tackle, because none of these other options give you the tackle. Now, of course, you can hit stick. That's always been the right analog stick. But X, you don't tackle. You never tackled with that. That gives you the ability to control the nearest player to the ball. Now, of course, the directional stick or the directional buttons and the analog stick on the left side is how you move the player. Hit stick is the right stick. Dive is square. The sprint, now this is the part I did not like. Sprint / shove blocker / swim move was the circle button. I didn't really care for that. Jump and intercept the ball, hands up while rushing the quarterback. This was the triangle button. We can't even put our hands up in Madden anymore, guys. We can't do it. They just jump. Why did they take this feature away? I don't know. And you can't tell me either, because nobody knows. So stop trying to act like you know. Rip move, swim move. These were your left and right R1 and L1 buttons. And for those of you on Xbox, back in the day, you guys didn't have bumpers. You had white and black. So go figure. Those buttons were terrible, and that is why there are bumpers now. Bumpers make things a lot easier. Strafe was R1 and swap ball was L1. I mean, honestly, your best bet was to always hit triangle, because you could at least jump and still smack the ball, or you had a good opportunity to intercept the ball. Excuse me, I have the sniffles. Um, on offense, you actually had the offense has always been the same. Um, what I don't understand is why they got rid of the ability to quiet the crowd. Probably because the crowd does not even matter anymore. Back in Madden 2005, older Maddens, the crowd used to get loud and it would throw things off. You couldn't see your plays when you went into the coach cam. You couldn't see the plays, guys. It was squiggling around. You, it was shaking the controller. Yeah, you could try and quiet the crowd. You could literally sit there and wait for the crowd to die down. Sometimes it didn't always work depending upon where you were playing, depending upon what game you were playing in. If it's the AFC or the NFC championship game and you're the away team, the crowd is going to stay loud all the way down to 1 second left on the clock to where you have to snap that ball. They won't quiet down at 15 seconds or 10 seconds. It stays loud. So especially if it's excuse me, especially if it's a close game. I had to burp. Let's see. Pump fake. That was always R2. I don't know why they changed that to a stick. I really don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, now you could block. You could block in Madden before. Cut block was square. Power block was circle. I don't really know what you were doing as far as jump blocking goes, but that was triangle. Change block assignment. You hit the triangle button. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's all the same stuff. But they actually blocked, guys. They actually blocked in the game of Madden back in the day. Kicking's always been the same. And when I say they actually blocked, what I mean by that is they had the ability to know who was coming from where. They knew when to double team. They knew when not to double team. They didn't leave men wide open. And I mean, really and truly, 2K5 did a better job than Madden 2005 did. And yes, I am creating a YouTube video for that. It's just a matter of determining if I want to record it with some sort of technology or if I just want to use cell phone camera. It's not going to look as good, but I don't know where to get the technology that will allow me to record PlayStation 2. So bear with me. Let's see. So we're not worried about these online features. I never fooled with the online features. There were firewalls and stuff back in the day. And really and truly, everything online was the biggest and hottest mess. You were better off, unless you were one of those rich kids, you were better off just taking a memory card to your buddy's house and playing some good old Madden together in the same room. I know that's probably scary for a lot of young folks today, but back in the day we had fun together. Now, of course, with the whole COVID situation, that's not very likely for anybody. But Madden franchise back in the year 2004, 2005. Listen closely. Take full command of an organization for up to 30 complete seasons. Now, I believe you can still do 30 seasons. That's pretty much the only thing that has not changed. New features in franchise. Storyline Central. Stay on top of the league and your team by reading national and local newspapers, reviewing emails from coaches, and listening to Tony Bruno's weekly radio show. Now tell me, where did all this stuff go? You don't get emails. When you do, you get a text message nowadays, and the text message is dumb. It has literally nothing to do with the game that just happened. It has nothing to do with the game that's coming up. There's really no actual storyline that follows anything. It's just some kind of generic nonsense that comes through, and it's like, shut up. I've gotten messages from Julian Edelman who didn't play because he was hurt, and then he's complaining about not getting touches. Like, dude, your arm was broken. Of course you're not going to touch the ball. You sat on the bench. Don't be dumb. Like, fix my game. Where are the newspapers? These goofy tweets or whatever these are supposed to be, they're not good. They amount to nothing. They don't mean a hill of beans. The newspapers were good. And I know people don't even get newspapers anymore. But still, you can have news articles that look a lot better than what we have now today. Tony Bruno's podcast or his weekly radio show. Why did they get rid of that? That was one of the best features of franchise mode, if you ask me. And sure, he said the same thing for the next 30 years, but it was something fun to listen to while you fooled around with your team. When you looked at who was going to be starting, because there were actual position battles back in the day. There were position battles while you tried to determine who was actually going to be your starting quarterback, your starting running back, your starting corner. Who, if you could do well with a kicker who was a lesser overall to save a couple bucks, it was nice to have something to listen to other than just music. It was nice to be able to listen to kick back and relax and listen to Tony Bruno as he talked about football related things. And I mean, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I don't know why they got rid of it. Now, if they didn't want to use Tony Bruno anymore, they could use Rich Eisen. Like, there's so many people they could use. And don't tell me they don't have the rights to use Rich Eisen. Because guess what? Rich Eisen is clearly in Madden 21 that's coming out in a couple weeks, guys. So why did they not do this beforehand? Why don't they simply put him or any of the people that make these tweets, these garbage tweets in franchise, why don't they give them a radio show? Why don't they give them a podcast or something that's relevant to the game of football while you're playing franchise? That would first and foremost, that would just add so much depth to the game. Have them read some stats rather than just write the stats. I just don't understand why this has been taken away from us. Player personalities. Actually, no, I skipped a step. Progression system. Player progression is updated every 4 weeks based on his performance, stage of his career, and his position. Why was this taken away? Why was this taken away? Like, the progression system is very weak now. You can either go up 1 week or you can go down the very next week. And really and truly, it doesn't amount to a ton like it would over the 4-week period in Madden 2005. I just don't understand, guys. Player personalities. Everything you do affects the way players act. Players get upset when they are offered less money than what they think they are worth. Do you know how big that is? There were actual holdouts in Maddens. I remember one time I offered Orlando Pace, $36 million. He wanted more, so he held out for the entire season. He didn't suit up for me, but he was still on my roster. And it was all because I would not give him the amount of money that he wanted. And then Byron Leftwich did the same thing to me. I had Byron Leftwich sitting on my roster, and he would not play until I gave him a new contract. And I said, no, you're not getting a new contract, so he sat out. There were legitimate holdouts. I remember one time I moved a team from, I don't remember what team, it was probably the Rams. They were one of the few teams I played with back in the day. I moved the Rams to who knows where. The quarterback got upset. Mark Boldry got upset with me. I think I moved him to Hawaii. Mark Boldry got upset and said it's too warm and sunny. He missed the dome. He missed the dome. And that is why he no longer wanted to play for my team. He wanted to stay in the dome. If you got rid of a player's favorite guy, they would get upset. Games like NHL still have this. If you get rid of somebody who plays on their line, the other people on that line will get upset and they will complain to you. There's a thing called morale in Madden 2005, and there's a thing called morale in the NHL games. Why don't we have this in Madden 20? I don't know. And there's a morale meter, and you want to keep that in the green, maybe the yellow, maybe the yellow. I mean, yellow's a sign where like things could go really good or they could go really south quickly. So you want to try and keep guys in the green. But if you get them down to that red, that's where they're going to start not playing for you. They're going to hold out. They're going to say, hey, trade me. Because players could ask for a trade. Trust and believe, guys. I would not lie to you. Madden 2005 was a far better product than Madden 20. I just don't understand how a game that was made 15 years ago, two games that were made 15 years ago, are better than the product that we currently have. I don't understand it. Let's see. Let me finish reading this. They can get upset when they're placed on the trading block. This is true. I remember that. And they can get upset when they get sick of losing. If you have consecutive seasons of losing and you're not getting any better, these players would get upset with losing and they would ask for a trade. Or they would just, their meter would be red and they would refuse to re-sign with you if they were at the end of their contract. They wouldn't want to stay there because they wanted to win. Especially as they get older into their career. They would hold out. They would say, no, I'm not going to continue to play here. No, I'm not going to re-sign. I want to go somewhere where I can win. I also remember how players who retire could become position coaches and work their way up to head coaches. Why is this stuff out of my game now, guys? We get these random generic coaches. I don't understand this, guys. I really don't. It's tragic. It's really tragic. Training camp. There was an actual training camp, guys, where you could run through drills to boost attributes. This was a lot of fun. And this was done before the preseason games began. You can also review you can still review rosters. If you can't review rosters, that's a problem. Practice was a legitimate practice. People wore practice pads, and yeah, I mean that was a good time. Let's see. Oh, when you were able to do contracts and contract restructures, you could customize those contracts. See, a lot of people a few weeks ago were telling me that the Chiefs won't have money now that they've signed Patrick Mahomes. We don't know how that contract has been structured. And the reason that a lot of people don't know that contracts can be structured in multiple ways is because they've been playing Madden their entire life. And Madden has taken away the ability to either front load, back load, or balance out a contract. That maybe year 3 is where he gets most of his money. We don't know. But these are things that you could do back in Madden 2005 that you cannot currently do. And that is why a lot of people are lost, dazed, and confused here in the year 2020. And they're worried about what's going on in Mahomes and the Chiefs' pockets when they need to be worried about what's going on in their pockets and how they're wasting money on a video game that refuses to keep up with the game that they produced 15 years ago. Getting a little heated, guys. Getting a little heated. Let's see. There were also career-ending injuries. Career-ending injuries. That was always sad, but that made the game a little more fun. Also, the helmets popping off the people's heads. That was also like, oh my God, he just got laid out. So, I mean, stuff like that. I mean, just little minute details that made the game fun. Also, there was very little glitching. I remember the biggest glitch that happened in Madden is when your wide receiver could fall through the ground. I mean, that was always an interesting glitch, but it did not happen often. There was very little players phasing through one another, and you definitely did not see this in Madden 2K5. You didn't see players phasing through one another. Yeah, so, I mean, you could modify uniforms, you could create your own uniforms, and when you move the team, you had the ability to create new uniforms in this new city. There was not just 8 or however many cities to pick from. There weren't 12 cities to pick from. You had every city across America that you could come up with. You had the ability to name the stadium and everything. Now, of course, you could still set the prices for the items that were being sold, the tickets, concessions, team merchandise, and more, whatever more was. All that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was franchise mode, guys. That was franchise mode. Wait, I'm missing the biggest part of franchise mode. How did I forget? There's preseason where, again, like I said, there's position battles and players fighting for the same position. They might not make the team. So, I mean, that made it interesting. During the season, during a franchise, you run your user-controlled teams every week. You can control any team in franchise mode. You can also make player trades before the 6-week deadline, sign free agents, and change game settings. I'm not really sure what kind of game settings we're talking about, but that's just what the booklet says. Pro Bowl. Now, you know how we just got the Pro Bowl back this year? Or maybe it was last year? Either way, we had Pro Bowl back in 2004, 2005, but we could not get Pro Bowl on the new generation of consoles, and we're just about to jump into PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, or whatever they're calling it. How does this happen, y'all? How does this happen? There's no Pro Bowl for 10 years? Why? Where did the Pro Bowl go? How do we just neglect an entire piece of NFL football? I don't understand it. Something about they can't have that many different helmets on the field. If you could do it in 2004, why on earth can't you do it in 2020? Some of this stuff that EA claims to be difficult should not be difficult. The off season. Build your dynasty through the draft or signing key free agents. You control the moves that your team and computer handles the other teams. So that's pretty much the same, except for, again, that's how you create your position battles. If you see somebody's getting old, it's like, do I want to take a chance on this guy? Do I want to take a chance re-signing him? Do I want to go out and sign an older guy? Do I want to bring in a young guy to challenge and push my older guy? These are all things that were in the game that are no longer there. That is why I get upset with franchise mode. Let's see. That might be just about it. Oh, you could also import draft classes from NCAA football, which we all know there is no more NCAA football. Too bad, so sad, but that was a great feature in the game. Let's open up this EA, or not the EA, the ESPN 2K. Honestly, it was the same controls, except for they know that the square button is tackle. They do call the square button a tackle button. I just don't understand why on earth we need multiple tackle buttons in our football game. Why do you need 3 catch buttons all of a sudden? Catch the football and run with it. Tackle the man. And then I had somebody. I was talking to a guy. Some of you probably know who, but he says, "What if I want to do a conservative tackle instead of an aggressive tackle?" What? What? If you're on a football field, let me sit up for this. If you're on a football field and you have to determine if you want to make a conservative tackle or if you want to make an aggressive tackle, I want you off the football field. Why? Because first and foremost, you're going to get hurt trying to determine how you want to tackle somebody. Tackle them. Plain and simple. Secondly, I don't care how you get them to the ground. I don't care how you get the ball back. Just do it. They're going to run through you if you're out there trying to determine, oh, should I conservatively tackle or aggressively tackle? Just tackle. Knucklehead. So there was a crib in... Yeah, we went through that already. So there was a crib in 2K that there's not any sort of in Madden 2006 in their player mode. Honestly, the 2K button or the 2K manual is very slim. There's not a lot in here, but this does bring back the good old memories of the crib and touchdown celebrations. But in 2006 Madden, you had the ability to have a home. You started off inside of a studio apartment, and as you progressed your way through an NFL career, you would get a bigger and better home. The maps would change depending upon what city you were in. You could go get your haircut. You could go get tattoos. There's so many things that you could do. You could get different agents. Really and truly, the games were a lot more fun back then. They were more in depth. They remind me a little bit of what 2K is currently doing with the park and their ability to move around throughout the career mode, just on a lesser scale. Because of course we're talking about 2005, 2006, 2004 to 2007 range. So of course things were not as grand as they could be now, but I just don't understand why we're not on that same level here in the year 2020. I just don't get it, guys. When you look at the gameplay, the stuff makes no sense. We've got guys running through their offensive linemen. We've got guys running through defensive ends, and then they say, oh, well, have you used a linebacker to make the tackle instead of a defensive end? That wouldn't have happened. Well, I'm sorry. The defensive end is still a player on the football field. Just because I choose to use a defensive end does not mean that he should be phased through. Come on now. Get with it. Somebody help me here. Hey, I don't understand that line of thinking. It's sad, guys. It's really and truly a sad day for Madden. Madden could be a really good and fun game. And let me tackle Mutt real quick. I do believe that they determined that they don't want to take care of franchise mode players anymore because they want to force everybody into Mutt. Now, I don't understand Mutt. I don't care about Mutt. I never have. Probably never will, to be honest with you. Now, I will be playing Mutt on my stream because I know that's what a lot of people like to see, and I like to entertain the people. I consider myself to be an entertainer, so that's what we're going to be doing. But if it were completely up to me, I would play regular online Madden because that's what I enjoy the most. So I will likely play more of that than Mutt, but I know that the people like to see Mutt, so we're going to also include Mutt. Now, what I don't like is the pay-to-play aspect of Mutt. I think if I spend $65 to $105 on Madden, I should not have to pay another $100 just so I can have a good team on Mutt. Now, you're wondering, where did I get this number from? I'm getting this number from a Madden champion, also somebody who was in my DMs consistently telling me that what Dubby, I'm just going to say his name, Dubby, who's a Madden champion, says either you put all your time and effort into Madden, or the second you get it, or into MUT, or the second you get it, you spend $100 on MUT packs. Now, tell me, why is it okay to tell? Because the ones who are actually doing this are the children. The children are the ones buying these MUT packs. The children are using mommy and daddy's credit cards to buy MUT packs so that they can have a good team. Why are we not just playing regular Madden and grinding and figuring out an actual strategy? Now, I know people always tell me that my strategy and my game plan sucks, but again, I've won over 50% of my games, which makes me happy. Why is the Madden community so toxic to where it's not to where it's this, well, you should win all of your games? Well, I mean, show me someone who's won all of their Madden games, and I'm going to show you a flat-out cheater. I don't know anyone who's never lost a Madden game. Your favorite YouTuber has lost a Madden game. So, I mean, chill out. Relax. It's going to be okay, buddy. It's going to be okay. It's also okay that I don't care to be the next Madden great. I play Madden because I like football. I play Madden because I've liked Madden since I was a kid. Do I want it to be better? Yeah. Do I want the ability to read and react? Yeah. Do I want the computer-assisted players to actually have a brain? Yeah, I do. Why? Because you can't control 11 men at one time. You can only control one. That's why. Don't be dense. Don't be dense. But back to what I was saying. You get these kids spending $100 on MUT packs, and they might get one or two cards that are like, oh my God, this is awesome. But there's still 11 spots on offense and 11 spots on defense, and you spend $100. You get two players. Let's say you get one offensive player and one defensive player that's really good, and the rest are just okay. Well, I'm sorry, but that leaves you with 10 okay players and two really good ones on both sides of the field. Then what? Then what? That's gambling. Why are we teaching our children to gamble? There's a reason why you have to be, what's the age? 18 to go to the casino, or is it 21? I don't know. I'm not a gambler. I believe it's 18. But just tell me why it's okay to encourage children to gamble on Madden. We have grown men encouraging children to gamble on a video game, to give EA more money when EA can't even put together a decent franchise mode for the people who care about franchise mode. I don't understand it. And for those of you who say, oh, get over it, just play MUT, guess what? Eventually, MUT is going to get the same treatment that franchise is getting. And how do I know this? Because the yard is coming. The yard is going to be the new best thing. And it's going to be Madden's little golden child. And then MUT's going to get put on the back burner. All they're going to do is force Superstar KO and Yard down your throat. And you're going to be like, I want the MUT content. I want the MUT content. Where's the MUT content? I don't know what MUT content everyone keeps screaming about in my Discord and in my DMs. But clearly you're not getting it because they're focusing a lot of time on something else. And it's likely the yard. So get ready, all you people who've been telling me to get over franchise mode not being as good as it should be, in my opinions, and in the opinions of a lot of people, because your precious little MUT is coming next. So it's time that you start holding EA accountable so everybody can have a game that they love and enjoy. You can continue to gamble on MUT. I can continue to play franchise mode. And then the people who like the yard, they can all enjoy the yard. Now, I mean, does the yard look cool? Yeah. Do I still want my franchise mode? Yeah. I'm not going to get over franchise mode. Just like I know good and well, you're going to go from the age of 10 to 26 talking about, oh, I remember when Mutt used to be so much fun. Why would I want to see you lose your joy in Mutt? I don't. I just don't understand why this company is refusing to put together a game that everybody can enjoy. It's sad, guys. It's very sad. Very, very, very sad. Let's see. We got to wrap this thing up. I've been rattling for 54 minutes. Almost 55. I did not think I was going to go that long, but, clearly this was weighing deeply on my heart, and it's been good. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on Madden, how I can improve, and why I'm consistently upset. They just the fact that you can sit here and figure out which plays work, which plays don't work, and you can cheese plays, and you can determine how you're going to call certain plays so that the brainless AI characters on the field are manipulated the way that you want them to so that you get certain animations is just mind-boggling. I don't understand how that's fair. I don't understand why that's acceptable. And in my book, that's far from acceptable. I can't stand it. The other issue that I have with Madden is definitely got to be the Mutt. Like I said, if that's your thing, cool. It's definitely not my thing. I think that's a lot of gambling. I think that's sending the wrong message to the children. And I also think that putting a mode on the back burner so that they can rob children is not okay. Yeah. So let's jump into these stalkers real quick. People who love to sit back and look at every little thing that I put on social media need to go have a seat. I've blocked entirely too many people over the past couple of weeks because people love to sit back, and not even my stuff where I'm advertising my gaming. It's not even my gaming stuff, like it's personal stuff. I've had to block people. There's this child who consistently stayed in my DMs on Twitter and Instagram, and this was about my gaming. But the man got so irritating. Well, I shouldn't call him a man, but I'm a respectful guy. This young man got so irritating that I had to block him. Why are you so far into my life and constantly swinging on my dick to the point where I have to block you? I've got other people getting upset over things that I post on the instant media, and they start calling and texting me, asking me questions. If your name is not associated with something, don't out yourself. If your name has nothing to, if you don't have anything to do, if I did not call you out, if I did not sit here and actually call you out, why are you concerned? Why am I the bad guy? Go have a seat. If I have to block you, your wife, your mommy, anyone who knows you, there's a problem. There's a massive problem and needs to be corrected. And people back in middle school and high school said I would stalk people. Clearly, you got the wrong cat. You got the wrong cats, because I can show you multiple stalkers here in my life. Because, people who were watching me on Instagram or on Twitch and YouTube started following me on my personal stuff because somehow they found out my last name from, an Xbox thing they found. It's like, why are you so fixated on me? Why are you so fixated on the Rebel to where you're starting to find my name and figure out, oh, well, that's his Xbox. oh, let me go follow him on Facebook, and let me go follow him on his personal Twitter. No, man. Give me a little space. Let me go follow him on his personal Instagram. Nah, man, get off my dick. Give me a little space. If I gotta start blocking people, you've gone too far. I mean, I love you. There are plenty of outlets for everybody to get at me at. You know where you can find me. Everything is the Young Rebel 12. Everything is the Young Rebel 12. There's no excuse to be jumping up on my personal accounts and trying to follow me. I take that back. The Facebook page is Young Rebel Productions, but everything else is the Young Rebel 12. So yeah, I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not anything like that, but I mean, the stalker stuff is just like, yo, this is weird. This is really weird. Like, why? Why are people so fixated on me? It's just strange. I mean, it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's kind of strange. Because, I mean, like I said in episode 1, and like I said in episode 2, we're going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it 100 here on the Young Rebel podcast. But like I said in episode 1, people who said, who would ever watch you, who would ever listen to you, who likes you, why would you ever have a fan club, all that crap. I mean, it's kind of nice that a lot of people are that into me to where they're starting to follow my personal stuff. And it's not like I even post anything on my personal stuff anymore. So I'm just like, why are you even looking at my personal pages? Because there's nothing there. Like, there is nothing there. I've got my Facebook page has a picture of me from, like, I don't know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. That's how much I don't post there. Because, like, I just don't care. I care about this. I care about my content creation. I care about my real estate. I care about everything I'm doing here. Like, there's just so many other things I could be doing to where I'm not even focused on my personal social medias anymore. I just love building this, and like I said, putting people in the dirt, keeping it moving, but steady kicking dirt on their grave as I keep moving. So that's what I keep doing. That's all I do. And people who are that focused on me honestly need to go find a life first and foremost. And I mean, hopefully they get help. I mean, there's 2 people in particular that I can think of who I hope and sincerely hope that they get some form of help. Because I do think it's strange that you're following another man that closely when, I mean, hopefully there's something else you can do in life. I mean, go do some homework or something, read a book, I don't know, watch TV, watch Netflix. You don't have to argue with me all the time. You don't have to tell me that Michael Jordan is better than, or you don't have to tell me that LeBron's better than Michael Jordan because he wasn't. That's a story for another time. I might have to make a whole podcast on that and why people who believe that nonsense are extremely wrong. And I can also tell you why Kobe should be ahead of LeBron. But again, I mean, we're sitting here at 1 hour and 3 minutes. I mean, I could honestly talk to you for hours at this point because my mind is just flowing. I got some good food in my stomach. I got my ice cold refreshing tap water. And yeah, guys. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just like I was saying, give people some space. You don't have to follow after everybody. You don't have to constantly watch me. You don't have to constantly watch anybody. I think it's just a little bit weird. Actually, I know it's a lot of bit weird that someone's following that hard. I think it's very weird that Madden can't get it together. I think it's very weird that people get on a dating site for friends and because they're bored. It's just a weird world that we're in, and I really and truly hope that we can make it through the year, and I'm sure we will. So yeah, just keep fighting the good fight, guys, and yeah, man, I mean, that's just one of those things. Alright, guys, so that is today's episode. Make sure you guys share the podcast with everybody that you know, friends, family, mom, dad, fellow gamers, people that come up on Twitch, just everybody, so we can continue to grow the podcast. Yeah, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We'll be back on Monday. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about, but we're going to be back on Monday. And yeah, man, come back then. And until then, you guys have a nice weekend. Peace.